Welcome to my channel. I'm Tina. I'm gonna continue talking about JSP actions, and the next one is called the JSP use bean and JSP set a property, get a property. And before that, I want to talk about JavaBean because JSP use bean, this action related to JavaBean. Okay, so now a JavaBean is a Java class. Okay, you can start with a Pojo, just a regular Java class, but it has some specifications you have to follow. Okay, the first one is you have to have a non-argument constructor inside the class you defined. Suppose we have a person. In the person, you have to have a non-argument constructor. By default, it has, but if you have your customized constructor and the default one won't be there, doesn't exist anymore. In that case, you have to explicitly define this non-argument constructor. Okay, otherwise it's not JavaBean. Second one, it should be serializable, which means you have to implement serializable this interface. Okay, this serializable interface is a marker interface, which means there's no abstract method inside this interface. It's only used for, which means when we create a Java object, the object is in the memory, right? And if you implement a serializable, then it can be the object in the memory can be turned into kind of like a string, then you can save into the file, and also that string can be transferred over the network like this. Okay, and the last one is for a class like a person. Okay, if you want it to be JavaBean, then all the fields or property must declare as a private, must. Okay, because JavaBean want to have the full control on the properties, so all of them are private, and you have to provide getters and setters to provide a way for them to access the properties. Okay, to change the value using setter, to get the value using the getter methods. Okay, so if you have a Java class which follow these conventions, okay, follow those specifications, then you can say your class is a JavaBean. And why do we need to have a JavaBean? Is like Java, it has J2 Java SE, which can be used for standalone applications. There's another part previously called the Java EE, Java Enterprise applications. Okay, but now it's given to Eclipse Foundation. It's called the Jakarta EE now. And in Java Enterprise applications, mostly we access our server remotely, either through the network or either through the internet. And we have to provide a way to transfer the thing inside the memory to another places. That's how JavaBean, when JavaBean comes out and to be used. Okay. So let's continue to talk a little bit more about JavaBean property. A JavaBean property is a named attribute. It's like if I have employee have a first name and have the last name. So the first name and the last name we consider the property of the JavaBean. And that can be accessed by the user of the object. When we get the object, we can get the attribute, right? And the attribute can be any Java type, including the class you define. it's just a regular class, so you can using any reference type, or you can still using the built-in types, like if the attribute like first name and the last name we talked, it's gonna be a string type. And if you have the birth date, it can be a local date. And if you have a person have address, then you have to define your own address, so it's gonna become a type you defined. And a JavaBean property can be read, write, read only, and write only. This means the two methods we defined below. Suppose for a class we're using this one, public. Okay, class, we have a person, right? And if we have a private string name, okay, I just using name. And when we're using private, which means you cannot directly using a personal object .name to retrieve this property. And if we provide a set method, set name, okay, and here you pass a string name, right? And here this dot name equals name. If you provide a set, then it can read. And the same thing for the get. Suppose I have a public string get name, right? And I will return name, okay? Or you can using this dot name. This keyword is not necessary in Java. Then if you provide a get method, it's gonna be right. And if you read only means you only provide the getter. And write only, it means you only provide the set method, doesn't provide the get method. And by convention, the setter and a getter for the properties usually is started with a get. Okay, it's a getter, and here gonna be a property name. And the support, like here, the name is our property, and for the property, the first letter is a capital. So the getter for our example is a getter name. Okay. Here also have example. Suppose your property name is a first name, the method would be get. This is gonna be a property name, but the first letter become capital. Okay, and this is called the accessor, which is a retrieve. Okay, and for the setter is the same. Okay, which is for mutator, which is for change the value of your property. And the same thing, if your property is first name, then we is set, and the first name is our property, but the first letter is a capital. Okay, I think for people are very use the Java, I think you guys should be understand very clearly. Okay. Pros and cons of JavaBean, like advantages, like the property, the things for our properties, the JavaBean has the full control on that, and so the properties are fully controlled and secure, and you just expose the methods to be accessed to other applications, and the other application, if they want to change property, they have to go through the methods. Okay, and also JavaBean, like a Pojo also, okay, for encapsulation, they can provide reuse components for our software. Not good part is mutable. Okay, so it cannot take advantage of immutable objects. Immutable objects like a string, they are immutable. And if one example is, if we want to compare two objects are the same, for immutable objects, we just using the in-memory address, right? Using equal sign, we can compare. But for the mutable objects, it's not always the case. Probably you have to override override the equals and hash code, and that's gonna be compare each of the values. So take a little bit longer processing time. And another one, this is also a very problem, because for every JavaBean class, for every property, you have to provide the getters and setters, and those cannot be boilerplate code, and you have to include in every JavaBean class. Okay, so there's another dependency or library, you can actually get rid of those boilerplate code called the long book. I'm not sure if you used. I think long time ago I had a video about that, which is you can using annotations like a setter or getter, and you don't need to define the methods by yourself. Just add annotation, and it will automatically add for you. When they compile, it will have the long book. You will see those methods will be added by this project or library. Okay, so this is a short introduction about JavaBean, and next video I will show you how to create a JavaBean. Okay, very simple demo, and we will use for our JSP use bean, that JSP action. Okay, thank you, and bye bye.